Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to do note making. As the term suggests, note making. So, making notes, maybe from a elaborative passage or a lesson or topic or concept which is given in a vast way to bring out the highlights and make it in such a way so that the revisions can be done. Right? This is the purpose of notes. I have written few terms on the board. The first term is title. When you make notes, when you make notes, the term title you need to give. Whether it is of any subject, any topic, any concept. Headings and title always must be there. So, let us go through these things. You will understand better after knowing them. What we do when we make notes, we write the title of the written text. In our syllabus, we make notes of a passage. It is from the reading section. You read the passage and you make notes of it into 4 to 5 points, right? You can make the passage in a concise way, right? But in points, that what it is covering, what are the causes being discussed for this, what is the conclusion. So we move step by step. We write the title, then we make notes in 4 to 5 points. Then those points must have sub-points, that what is in that passage. Suppose you have given the main point, suppose your passage is on pollution. So you have given the heading pollution or yoga, a way of life. Right? Terrorism, the deadliest cancer. Okay, any heading you have given. After giving the title, what you need to do is you need to now make notes. So main points and the sub points. Then sub points if required. Right? Then there is summary also. You make it concise and precise into 80 words. The passage talks of, speaks of, illustrates. So you write in 4 to 5 lines or according to your handwriting, whatever lines 80 words cover, you write that summary. After the summary, there is key to abbreviation. What is this key to abbreviations? You have used some terms in your notes, say for communication, and you write COMM dot. You've written December DEC. You don't write DOCTOR doctor, you write DR. So this is a standard abbreviation for doctor. So 5 to 6 key words which we have shortened or which we have written as in abbreviated form, we note down them and write their full form. Right? So USA. So we don't write the complete United States of America, and particularly notes we will not write. Right? So we will, I hope these terms are a bit clear. Okay. Now to make it more clear, make it more understandable, let's move further. Dear students, I hope whatever I have shared just now is clear and we can move further. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Okay, now let me share the screen. Yes. Okay. If you see, there is a heading, a suitable heading, as I said. If you will not write this heading when you have read the passage, you will lose marks. So the first thing that we do while making notes is writing the title. Then first point, second point, third point, here fourth point, right? And fifth also, if you think that the passage can be converted into notes into 4 main points, you can cover like that. 3 will be little less, so 4 to 5 points. And then those points must have sub-points. If you have written the passage is talking of some ancient city, so you'll write history of the city. Then you'll cover 3 points related to history. Downfall, so how it got destructed or what happened to it. So you will write the second point, and then you will write 2 points supporting which are described in the passage. If the passage, unseen passage, is of 5 paragraphs, it doesn't mean that you will write 5 points. On the basis of your understanding, you will write 4 to 5 points in total. Even if the passage has 7 small paragraphs or 6 paragraphs, you will write. So, dear students, this much is clear. A suitable heading, then points, and we'll share the sample also, which will make you and help you out. So, helping with abbreviations, we'll move afterwards. Before that, we'll see what are the characteristics of good notes. Notes must be brief. They must have main points and sub points. We have already discussed, right? They list information in what is called note form. That is to be understood. This is to understand that we are making notes. They are written only in phrases, not in sentences. Now you need not write in your sub points long sentences. Small phrases will also work. In fact, you need to write phrases only. Right? Information is logically arranged in divisions and subdivisions using figures, letters, etc. Now, the division is made like this. Main section, we have seen in the format just now, 1, 2, 3. And then sub parts or sub points or subsections, we can write ABC, 1, 2, 3, right? Abbreviations and symbols are frequently used, right? Suppose you want to write negative, so you can write negative minus VE. You can use the sign of increasing, decreasing, we'll share, right? Articles, prepositions, conjunctions are omitted. Notes must make sense. They must not just phrases and sentences and compiling for the sake of marks, right? So purpose is to, lectures and all we attend, and then we make them concise for our understanding and all, and you might be making notes and you have books which have notes in them. So purpose of notes is to make some important facts and ideas and arguments contained in a piece of written text, right? So purpose may be many, for studies, for collection, for so many things, right? So this way, now dear students, let us move to this passage which is talking of something. Okay. So this will help us to understand that how we are going to make notes of these. We have understood the format of the notes. Main point, title, main points, 2 to 3 sub points in each main point. How many points you will cover? Highlighting points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maximum 5. Otherwise, you will spend a lot of time in exam and you will fall short of time, right? So let us go through this passage. The world today is confronted with a large number of problems like arms, proliferation, fundamentalism, separatist movements, as well as international terrorism. I've got a clue that this topic is about terrorism. Keep on reading when this screen is before your eyes, right? When this passage on your screen is there. International terrorism has today emerged as one of the most ominous threats to world peace and security. There has been considerable growth of terrorism between 1960s and 1980s. So first paragraph is talking of this most important of these are deep and bitter ethnic, religious, ideological conflicts which remain unresolved and which fester in the international system, spawning many forms of violent conflicts, terrorism, and periodically erupting into civil and international wars. So what it does, right? Another underlining factor for the growth of terrorism. Our points can be made. Terrorism, the title, right? First point, and then if you see the second paragraph, growth of terrorism. Factors for growth of terrorism can be one of the points. When we move further, the worldwide dissemination of new technology has also facilitated the growth of terrorism. The second paragraph and third paragraph is talking of factors which are responsible for terrorism, right? For example, development of international civil aviation has created new vulnerabilities and lucrative targets for terrorists to exploit. Modern weapon technology has also proved to be a boon to terrorists. How this has flourished? Because they have got all assistance and support in the form of technology. You need not change lines. You need to pick up those phrases which are going to be the part of your notes. Terrorism today has taken different forms. Now, forms of terrorism can be my second or third point. But let us read first. These include political terrorism, right? Against the involving not only the use of terrorism, not only the use of terrorism by the state, but also against the state, religious terrorism, micro-terrorism, as well as recent emergence of nuclear terrorism. So forms of terrorism have also come. Dear children, is my voice clearly audible? I hope you are able to hear clearly. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
The legitimacy of terrorism depends on various factors. The greatest justification which a terrorist finds is in a struggle between two adversaries. It is not the means but the end which is important. The United Nations Human Rights Commission has recognized that terrorism can destroy human rights and fundamental freedom of the people and threatens the territorial integrity of nations. One of the most basic rights of every individual is the right to life. Terrorism, which basically involves violence and killing, thus takes away this right from the individuals beside the use of violence for achieving a goal. Why people, youngsters of these areas which are prone to terrorism, they fall in this trap? What justifications they give? Now, last paragraph. Terrorism also poses a law and order problem for the state, while at the same time the economy suffers as a result of damage to trade, valuable resources, as well as scaring away the investors. The foreign investing companies or investors, or even from any part of the world, they are afraid to come to that particular country where it prevails. Why it is imperative to look for some mechanism to check the problem of international terrorism. One point can be this, the concluding point, the fourth one or the fifth one. Although there exists a large number of treaties, including extradition treaties, they have not been able to check terrorism. This has happened due to the failure of states to comply with the provision of the treaties. So, now, if we see how we have made the notes. International terrorism as the heading. Terrorism, the first point. Threat to the world peace and security. Now one can do the first point as threat, terrorism, and then threat to the world peace, causes of terrorism. We can make the first point into two sub-points also. Threat to the world peace and security. Problems, now PROBS. We have shortened one word, created abbreviated word, and then we'll elaborate it, right? So causes of terrorism, right? deep and bitter ethnic religious ideologies, periodical civil and international wars, right? Unconventional and proxy wars. So this much is sufficient, right? Now the second point has sub points also. If you feel, you write, otherwise you can move on to the third point. Modern weapon technology, dissemination of new technology, one and the same point, you can combine it or you can write it differently. So new technology and then modern weaponry or weapon technology. So causes of terrorism, different forms of terrorism. You can make this way tabular form, or you can even just write 1, 2, 3, 4. First, political, second, religious, third, micro-terrorism, and fourth, nuclear. A, B, C, D. Justification of terrorism, struggle between two adversaries, and not important. Right? You can take any other point also if you have picked up. So, dangers of terrorism, destroy human rights, freedom of people, threatens integrity of nation. So territorial, the word territorial integrity of nations has been shortened, abbreviated. Law and order problem. So 5, 6 words you will see they have been, abbreviated. Now set back to economy because of terrorism. If you see long sentences are not there, phrases are there, threatens integrity of nations or territorial integrity, law and order problem, set back to economy, and then set back to economy, two sub points are also given. If you see the fifth point, dangers of terrorism, and then the 5 main points, then there are sub points, and in 2 points there are sub sections also. That is damage. It damages trade and resources. And then we discuss, dear students on the board, if you see the title we have covered. Note taking, we can see the sample notes. Now coming to the third part, B part, that is summary. So terrorism is threat to the world peace and security. The causes behind it are this, ethnic, religious, ideological. So if you see what you have made notes, from here you can start writing, or from the passage you can pick up lines which you feel that will summarize in 80 words to 85 words. It's 80 words only, but it hardly matters. So keep yourself precise. You're summarizing. You can't elaborate. The question is, make summary. The B part of this unseen passage. You need to read the passage. You need to create these points, and then you need to write. You have to write a summary. And because it is summarizing, you cannot be elaborated. But you have to pick those points which can summarize the passage nicely. So causes, then worldwide dissemination of new technology, also the reason. Basically, terrorism has taken different forms. Then forms have been described in 2 lines, 1.5 line. Then terrorism is struggle between two adversaries as it destroys human rights and freedom of people. So it must be eradicated to protect the integrity of nations. So this way, dear students, we write the summary. Now, the point that you have used the abbreviations in the notes. If we go through these notes on the top, we see there is problems, unconventional, international is written this way. So after writing the summary or after writing notes before summary, on the right side you can write all the words which you have shortened and abbreviated, and you can write what they mean. Suppose it is INT, you have written dot, and then you will elaborate it, or you will write what it means. Internal, INTERNAL, right? So this way we can unveil what we have written in abbreviations. Now if you see some points which you need not do, you need to remember that you're not going to do them. You're not going to create so many abbreviations. over excitement in creating abbreviations. Say for you have created 15, so no need, right? Like that. 5 to 6 are sufficient. I hope this is clear. Let's move on the top to see that what we have done, right? And some points, right, which we have shared. Let's make a recap. Notes should be brief, to be written only in phrases, not in sentences. Use figures, letters, right? And you can use symbols as I discussed. What type of symbols I'm talking? As I said, increasing, you can make an arrow out. You can use n number of symbols which we know: positive, negative, increasing, decreasing. You need not write the complete words. Okay, you can use arrows, you can make dots, bullets and all, and you can draft your notes. Then you need to have title, main points, and then sub points and sub points if required. Right? Fine. Then you can eliminate, omit articles, prepositions, conjunctions, because you're using phrases, so you can make that way. Right, dear children? Yes. I hope, dear students, the note making part is clear. If you have any query, you can ask. Okay? Yes?
Please tell me the meaning of proliferation.
Proliferation. See, if suppose you are stuck up in some words in the passage. So if I see this passage, you have asked for proliferation, right? When it comes to, you can there's one way to understand the meaning when you don't understand in the passage. So the world today is confronted with a large number of problems like arms proliferation. So promotion of arms, right? Lot of armaments these days have intervened into our systems. So proliferation, okay, like that. Clear? Use of
Yes, ma'am.
armaments. Now synonyms maybe many you can find. So this way. And when you don't, I said when you don't understand the words, you can make out from the sentences the meanings. Large number of problems. Any other problem, dear students? Yes. I hope you have understood note making. We'll continue this sample passage and along with the other topics in the next class, dear students. Let me take the attendance. Okay. Wait. One more. Okay, dear students, you can leave. Thank you.